Hey, sorry for the late video. I've been battling the flu and was hoping to get it done yesterday, but I just wasn't able to. So I apologize for that. But on to the presentation about the need for law and the three paradigms of law. Obviously, there's a huge need for law in any society. In order for society, there has to be law for it to flourish. Without law, people will take advantage of each other, and nobody will be able to get ahead because they're always being pulled back by someone attacking them, doing something wrong, or doing something that we consider immoral or illegal, such as stealing or murder. You can't get ahead in life if every time you do something good, somebody wants to come and take it from you and kill you. Um, but the problem is trying to figure out which laws are good and which laws are bad, and how do we implement them to make our country or our society flourish and for it to be better. Um, Depending on your way of thinking, you're going to have very different views of how you view law based on the paradigm, the way of thinking, the way that you see things. The first, well, there's the three paradigms of law, which is pretty much the three ways people look at law, the three basic ways people look at law in our society. The first one is the consensus paradigm. This is saying that most of society, we have similar beliefs. We can agree on what's right, what's wrong for the most part. And because we agree on these things, it's a social cohesion. It brings everybody together, and because everybody agrees that these things are right and wrong, we can step forward as a society. Um, so pretty much in a consensus paradigm, laws are good, laws are for the people, and laws are helping the people because they protect it protects the public. Raphael Garofalo believed in natural law. So pretty much saying, hey, you have a social conscience. You have a conscience about what's right and wrong. Why don't we follow that and decide? And you know that it's wrong to steal, to murder, to rape, to kill, to do all these things. You know that's wrong. So let's follow that conscience as kind of our law. Um, I think that I kind of fall in the line of the consensus paradigm. That's where I feel like I'm at for the most part. The second paradigm is the conflict paradigm. After doing a little research and reading about the conflict paradigm, it really seems a lot like Marxism and communism. Basically, the idea is that power is corrupt, and the only people that benefit from laws are the people up top, the people making the laws, and the rich. And that if you break a law, you actually haven't done anything wrong. You're just going against the grain of what the powers say. So to me, it's very similar to Marxism in that if you have power, you're pretty much bad, and we're just going to overthrow you. Um, it went as far. The idea went as far as in the 70s that some criminologists were calling anybody in prison, they were calling them political prisoners instead of criminals because, again, they were just going against what the politics said at the time and that they were just being held down by the government. I completely disagree with conflict paradigm. I don't think it makes an ounce of sense. Um, I mean, I can see that there's definitely laws out there that at times seem to benefit the rich, but overall, I mean, I don't think you can make a strong case that all laws just benefit those in charge. And the pluralist paradigm is, I kind of think I fall on this a little bit too, is that power is fluid, and those that enforce it and make the law, they use discretion. That we use laws to benefit ourselves and to I do something I make a law because it might benefit me, but you're gonna follow it because it's gonna benefit you too. It's like we both get something out of it. And I think there's definitely laws out there, but for the most part, I think I fall in the consensus. We move over to the courtroom and the our adversarial system that we have, and on TV, a lot of the times we see these lawyers jawing back and forth at each other, and that this attorney can't stand this attorney, and that the judge is just having to deal with all this, and the judge can't stand either attorney, and he's some high and mighty guy, but in reality, most of these defense attorneys and prosecutors are going to have to work together again, and they're going to have to have a good working relationship. So a lot of them ended up being friends, and a lot of, in the long run, a lot of um, prosecutors become defense attorneys. There's more money in it if they become a uh, private defense attorney. So it's very much of the show, as the book talks about, um, that they put this show on the courtroom to see that to make it seem like they're really trying to go after each other, but in reality, these defense attorneys are overworked. They often only see their clients for several minutes, a couple times, and they bust out a plea deal. And whether or not they think that's the best case for them, it's just what's going to get done the quickest. And the prosecutors know that, and they talk outside of the courtroom, and they work with each other to make plea deals, and the judges are aware of it, and they really have to work together, because if they don't, it would just back everything up. There's too many cases um, to for things to keep going smoothly. If every single case went to trial, it wouldn't work. Um, I like the analogy of the wedding cake analogy, is that we really see the high profile things up top on the news, and like the OJ Simpson case and cases like that, where we see these really intense bouts and these back and forths with the attorneys. When in reality, that's not what it looks like. That's just the top of what we see. Down at the bottom is the thousands and thousands of cases we never hear about that are going to plea deals for probation or lesser sentences, and that's really what makes up excuse me, makes up our system. Um, and then some ideas to make our system less adversarial. I don't think we should completely go to something like they do in the Norwegian countries, or like in Norway with the inquisitor system, where the judge is an active part of the trial. But I think it would be possible to maybe make that judge part of the trial a little bit, and give them more of a role than just as a referee, like we have in our adversarial system, where it's just the offense and the defense. Um, and maybe allow the jury to ask questions. That's just an idea I've had. I don't know if that's ever been thrown out there. But overall, I think it's a system that works. But there's definitely holes in it. There has to be something done about the heavy caseloads for these defense attorneys, because clients aren't always getting the best representation, because these attorneys just don't have the time, and these clients just don't have the money to hire somebody better. So I don't know if that means more money going into the system to hire more state representatives for these defendants. That's not something I would like to see done, because I don't believe in sending more money to the government. But it is an option. There has to be something done to get these caseloads to where everyone really is getting an equal trial, because it's just not happening now. Thank you.